energetic, creative. Think of your favorite childhood memory. The smell of the grass, the specific shade of your mother's coat, the laughter of a friend long gone. You would swear on your life it happened exactly as you remember it. But what if I told you that at least 30% of that memory is a total fabrication?
What if the house wasn't blue, the friend wasn't there, and the laughter was actually a cry? Your brain isn't a video camera, it's a storyteller, and sometimes it's a liar.
Welcome to Deep Science Explained. Today, we are peering into the most terrifying mystery of the universe, the subjective nature of reality. We live our lives based on the facts stored in our minds, but neuroscience is revealing a shocking truth.
Our memories are not files stored in a hard drive. They are reconstructed performances. Every time you remember an event, you are essentially rewriting the code.
In this exploration of deep science, we will uncover how easy it is to hack a human mind, why eyewitnesses are the least reliable part of a courtroom, and how you might be carrying memories of events that never actually took place.
Is your identity built on a foundation of ghosts? Let's dive into the architecture of the false memory. To understand how your mind tricks you, we first have to look at the hardware.
In the early days of psychology, we thought memories were engrams, physical traces burned into the brain like a record groove. But science explained through modern fMRI scans shows something much more fluid.
When you experience an event, neurons fire in a specific pattern. To remember it, the brain tries to recreate that exact pattern. But neurons are busy. They're constantly being repurposed.
But here's where it gets crazy. The brain hates a vacuum. If a piece of the neural pattern is missing, a detail about what someone was wearing or the time of day, the brain doesn't just leave a blank space. It autofills. It pulls from your expectations, your prejudices, and even movies you've watched, stitching together a complete image that feels 100% real.
Consider the famous Lost in the Mall experiment by Dr. Elizabeth Loftus. Researchers told participants 3 true stories about their childhood and 1 fake one, that they had been lost in a shopping mall at age 5, crying, and were eventually rescued by an elderly person. At first, the participants didn't remember it, but after a few days of thinking about it, 25% of them didn't just remember the event, they began to provide vivid sensory details.
They described the texture of the old man's flannel shirt. They recalled the specific fear in their chest. They had created a memory out of thin air.
This is what we call imagination inflation. The more you visualize an event, the more your brain labels it as a perceptual memory rather than a conceptual thought. Eventually, the line between what you thought about and what you lived dissolves entirely. Did you know that the mere way a question is phrased can rewrite your past? In another study, people saw a film of a car accident. When asked how fast the cars were going when they smashed into each other, they gave higher speed estimates and remembered seeing broken glass. When asked how fast they were going when they hit each other, the glass vanished from their memory. The word smash acted like a line of code, overwriting their internal video file. This is the fragility of our existence. If our memories can be edited by a single word, who are we? Deep Science Explained asks us to consider, if your past is a draft that's constantly being edited, can you ever truly know the truth? But we have to look deeper at the source monitoring error. This is the glitch in the matrix where your brain remembers the information but forgets where it came from. Have you ever told a joke to the person who originally told it to you? That's a mild version. In more extreme cases, people witness a crime on the news and later remember being at the scene of the crime themselves. Their brain took the visual data from the television and filed it in the personal experience folder. During the 1980s and 90s, this phenomenon led to a crisis of recovered memory therapy, where patients, guided by well-meaning but suggestive therapists, began to remember horrific cult rituals and abuse that never actually happened. Lives were ruined, families were torn apart, all because the brain's filing system is fundamentally porous. This brings us to a staggering revelation. We used to think false memories were a bug in the system, a failure of biological engineering. But what if they are a feature? Biologically, memory didn't evolve to help us remember the past. It evolved to help us predict the future. Our brains are prediction engines. By being fluid with the facts, our minds allow us to generalize experiences. If you remember being bitten by a big brown dog, your brain might smudge the memory to include all big dogs, keeping you safer. The cost of this survival mechanism is the loss of objective truth. Our memories are optimized for survival, not for accuracy. We are biologically incentivized to be wrong about the past if it makes us more cautious in the future. In the realm of quantum mechanics and neural theory, some researchers suggest that the way we collapse a memory into a conscious thought is similar to an observer collapsing a wave function. Until you think about your 10th birthday, it exists as a cloud of probabilities in your synapses. The act of remembering is what solidifies it, but it solidifies it based on who you are today, not who you were then. Every time you pull a memory out of storage, it becomes labile. It becomes soft and moldable. When you put it back, you save over the old file with the new, edited version. You are literally a different person every time you remember yourself. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "Memory says, 'I did that.' Pride replies, 'I could not have done that.' Eventually, memory yields." This is the emotional peak of the discovery. Your brain chooses to protect your ego over the truth. It will rewrite your history to make you the hero, the victim, or the survivor, whatever it takes to keep yourself intact. This is why two people can leave a relationship with two completely different yet equally real versions of what happened. Both brains have edited the story to ensure the owner remains the protagonist. It's a survival tactic against the crushing weight of regret and cognitive dissonance. If our minds are constantly tricking us, if the you from 5 years ago is essentially a fictional character created by your current brain, then what is reality? We like to think of time as a straight line, but in the theater of the mind, time is a circle. We use the past to build the future, and we use the present to rewrite the past. We are living in a feedback loop of our own making. Deep Science Explained suggests that this isn't just a psychological quirk. It might be a fundamental property of consciousness. If we were forced to remember every detail of our lives with perfect, cold accuracy, we would be paralyzed by the sheer volume of data. The lie is what gives us the ability to move forward. Perhaps reality isn't a fixed line behind us, but a living, breathing hallucination we all agree on. We walk through the world draped in a tapestry of beautiful lies, convinced of our own consistency. But the mystery of the universe suggests that time and memory are far more entangled than we ever dared to imagine. We are not the authors of our lives. We are the editors, and we are working with a very messy first draft. Every fact you hold dear is subject to the whims of your neurochemistry. What if your false memories aren't mistakes? What if they are glimpses of versions of you that existed in parallel? Or what if, in the grand theater of the mind, the truth is simply the story that allows you to survive another day?
We are the only creatures on Earth that can live in a past that doesn't exist. That is both our greatest superpower and our most profound curse. It allows us to dream, to hope, and to forgive. But it also means we can never truly go home, because the home we remember was never there to begin with.
I'm your host, and this has been Deep Science Explained. If this journey into the glitches of your own mind made you question everything, hit the like button and share a memory you recently discovered was fake in the comments. Let's find the truth together. In our next episode, we'll uncover something even stranger: the Mandela Effect, how entire groups of people can remember a history that never existed.